everybody, this is T with katescraftycloset, and today we're going to make a card. I don't have one pre-made because I only have one of these flowers made, and I can't find my die that made this. This is a threader's die from Crafter's Companion, which allows it to cut thicker material, so this is felt. So let's go ahead and do our best with this one. So let's do the card base first. This is a accent paper that you can get off of Amazon. Really thick. I want to say it's 120 pounds. So super thick, which I like about that, and very good priced. And so I'll do the best that I can to link everything in the description box below. And because this is a thicker cardstock, you have to be really firm in when you do that, because you notice that how I just kind of messed that up a little bit, but I'm okay with that because you learn and you move on, right? So that's it. Like I said, I recommend a Teflon bone folder. So that means it's a top folding card, 4 1/4, 5 1/2, scored at 5 1/2. So I went ahead and I used a die. This is a mod rectangle die. It's the largest one in the set. And then with that, I went ahead and die cut out the center a scallop die. You don't have a scallop die, you have a scallop punch. That's great. You just you have a circle, that's great. Like any kind of punch or die will work to cut out that center. And if you don't have one, it's okay. You don't have to even have one for this card. And the exact scallop that I use somehow is not here, but even this one's kind of, I like this one. It's kind of crazy, but it's fun. So let's go ahead and put that aside. Then I went ahead, after I die cut it out, if you notice it's not centered, and that's okay with me, I use this embossing folder. This is a Darice. Unfortunately, Darice is no longer in business, but I still think I can find some out there. So I went ahead and ran that through. It's just like Floral Frenzy, I believe, is the name of that one. So let's go ahead and bring back in our panel. I went ahead and put foam squares around this. I had to cut a lot of them for it to fit around that area. I just want to give it a little bit of a raised area so that the flower doesn't stick out way too much, that it will be just kind of a little bit, not a whole lot, so it doesn't have such a raised dimension. Do my best to, me and release paper is not, we're not friends. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like me and this release paper, we're not friends. That's why I usually don't do this on camera, because number one, it takes a lot longer than I want to. And you know, sometimes you don't want to have that Freudian slip when something comes out that you necessarily did not want it to. All right, so I'm going to grab some art glitter glue. I like to put a little bit of liquid adhesive on the foam squares because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room, because I am horrible at placing these panels onto the base. It's just not my forte. I love the card making process, but this part of it, not so much. So I'm going to pull that over and make sure that the stitch marks are on the right side. And yep, they are, which is too late now because I already got that on there. Do my best to, I've learned that angling it up, holding it up where I can see a little bit helps me a little bit, but not always. Okay, so there we have that. This is some leaves. This is from the Tim Holtz Impresslit. It's called, I think it's called Leaves. I'm gonna do my best, but I'm gonna use these are big ones, and there's small ones that come in the package. This is what it looks like. It embosses and it die cuts at the same time. Just make sure you use the correct sandwich, because otherwise you can crack that right here, and then you won't be very happy with that, I promise you. Okay, and that little scallop that we have left over, save that later for another card. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm just going to kind of put these leaves in here in a direction that I think will look okay. And then I'm going to bring back in that felt flower that is just rolled and glued, and I'm going to decide, okay, I think I kind of like it there. So I'm going to go ahead and use that art glitter glue. And the thing is, you can always change your mind. And the leaves you can put where you want, but then adjust the flower. A little bit more easier to adjust the flower. It's okay if I'm okay with it coming up across that embossed panel. Not a problem. If you don't like that, you can put it underneath it, but I kind of want the point of the leaf to kind of show. So I'm going to angle that one a little bit this way. And then I'm going to come in with that flower. And I think I'm fine with that. Normally, I probably would use a hot glue for this because it's felt. Remember, it's going to seep. That glue is going to seep into that felt. And hot glue won't do that so much. So I'm going to kind of pull that over a little bit until I get it to where I like it. The leaf is covered up a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, perfectly fine with that. Then earlier, like I said, I die cut a whole bunch of these little sentiment strips that are stitched. I believe I got those from MFT quite some time ago. I was practicing stamping with, it's a wooden stamp from Hero Arts, thank you, which makes it a little bit more difficult to eyeball. And I did a kind of decent, sort of nice, okay job. I'm okay with it. It may not be perfect, but it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a foam square in half as well, and we'll put that on the back so that has a little bit of a raised dimension. Like, this is a very clean, simple, easy card to make. It's not hard. It really isn't. The flower may take a little while, but it's one of those things that practice with the flowers and have them on hand. You know, I'm not going to put liquid adhesive on this one because I'm okay. And then I'm going to do my best to put it where I want it. Okay, before I press it down, because once it's pressed down, it won't be so nice. You can use your T-square ruler if you have one to do that. Now I haven't decided. I'm gonna let y'all decide maybe in the comment section below. Should I put a gem right there, or is it distracting from the flower? Like, I wasn't quite sure. If it is, I won't put it on there. If it isn't, I'll put it on there. So that is our card for today. So I want to appreciate I appreciate each and every one of you all. Make sure you check out the store at katescraftycloset.com. I'll link as much of these products in the description box below and my social media accounts as well. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all those fun places. And thank you all for joining me, and use coupon code SAVE number 5 for $5 off your order of $25 or more on the website. And thank you all again, and have a crafty day, y'all.